For those of you who may have some old audio tapes, 40 or 50 years old, keepsake tapes, I'm going to tell you how to copy them onto a cassette so that you can put them in your computer and edit them. Hello there. Well, welcome to my workshop. Yeah, antique televisions and radios as a hobby. Been dabbling around for more years than I care to count. Anyhow, I'm going to show you how to convert open reel tapes, such as these little boxes of tapes that you probably, some of you old timers might remember them. In my case, I've got a lot of keepsake tapes of my dad and my mom and so forth, audio recordings that I made back in the early 1960s. And I want to convert them I want to put them on CD and MP3 format. And the way to do that, in my case, is I don't have a computer up here. This workshop is not located near where I live. This is my shop that I've had for over 40 years, but I don't live in this place anymore. This is my brother's attic, and I maintain a workshop as a hobby, and I go up here. Anyways, all my keepsake tapes are up here, and I've got this old web core here, which I'm going to show you now. For those of you who may have open reel tapes, such as these small reels, that I've made perhaps back in the 50s or 60s, and you want to put them onto cassette or into your computer or however you want to do it. The way I have done it here is I've converted an old web core deck which needed filter capacitors and major restoration in the amplifier. I didn't care to do that because I didn't want to keep the machine, because I only have these few tapes here that I want to convert over. So what I had done is simply use the heads directly off the heads, come out of here, so that this becomes just a deck only. The mechanics work, the heads are good, it's a 4-track stereo, and with these tapes here, of course, these are monaural, so you can only use one side, because otherwise if you hook them both up, you're going to get the other side going backwards, as you probably are well aware. So I've got a separate here so that I can record off, because a lot of my recordings that I have done on the 7-inch reels are done in, the left channel is done with some information and the right channel is used for other information. So it's a 4-track monaural, if you would call it that. So I've done that, so therefore I can separate the chat tracks and come down here into a cassette deck with the level controls going directly into the microphone, not the auxiliary, but the microphone input, into manual recording, and then setting it and recording it onto a cassette. And in this case, I monitor it through my old signal tracer, which I've had for many years, because most of my stuff here is antique. You folks probably, the old timers especially, would remember these little tapes and these little recorders. Now these recorders here were in the 50s and in the 1960s, quite common. Non-capstan drive, so in other words, it's a variable speed. So you can't take this tape and successfully play it on a capstan drive machine like this, because at some point this is going to sound really good, but then it's going to slow down. These machines had speed control on them. I added another one in here because my dad's voice, which is on this recording here, was made on a Lafayette recorder, which I no longer have. So in order to make it about the same as the Lafayette recorder, I had to add another speed control. That was done just to get this tape recorded onto a cassette. What I had done also on this is disable the amplifier coming right off the heads, and you can see that right here, head output only. So what I had done is I take my cord here, I plug this into here, okay, and then the RCA end here will go into the Y connector, which is on this deck here, and again the same setup, going to microphone input from the head output of the recorder, and that gives you the best the best quality. If you have these tapes and you don't have the recorder, you could probably still find these once in a great while at yard sales. That's all I've got to say for my Rube Goldburg setup today. I hope I've helped you in some way. Thank you.